Coming up on the First in News, some tension over a newspaper article in Kinston. The debate is between the county commission and the man who acts as go-between with the Global Transport. And a drug sweep put a lot of crack cocaine in the police evidence locker and 5 people behind bars. Those stories and more next on News Center 9.
Voted Best Newscast by the Radio Television News Directors Association of the Carolinas. This is WNCT TV, Greenville. First in News with Alan Hoffman, meteorologist Philip Williams, and Brian Bailey with sports. This is News Center 9's 11 o'clock report.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alan Hoffman. Thanks for joining us on the First in News tonight. A bit of controversy in Lenoir County tonight. It is over attorney Vernon Rochelle. Now, he is the contact between local government and the Global Transport. Tonight, the Lenoir County Commission talked about the job he has done, and as our Jennifer Barron reports, Rochelle will probably maintain the position despite some recent misunderstanding.
Relations between attorney Vernon Rochelle and the Lenoir County Commission may be a bit tense tonight, but at least a relationship still exists. The Kinston Free Press printed a story that tonight's meeting was to go over Rochelle's expense billing and his duties as middleman between the Global Transport and the city and county. Rochelle tells News Center 9 when he read the article, he felt commissioners were implying he misused taxpayer funds. He says he takes his job seriously and always turned in detailed and accurate expense reports. The commission apparently agreed. Commissioners and County Manager Bob Snap says he has done a great job, and his integrity and ability have never been an issue. Commission Chairman George Graham indicated the article in the paper is misleading. After some discussion, the commission agreed to again use a liaison person to do the job Rochelle has been doing. Now I talked with Mr. Rochelle and the County Manager Bob Snap after the meeting. Snap said he has been given the go-ahead by the county commissioners to redesignate Rochelle as the contact person for the Global Transport, and he says he does plan on doing that. I also talked to Mr. Rochelle, and he says if he's asked, he will again accept those responsibilities. So it looks like through all this confusion, Alan, they will reach an agreement. So
the confusion started over a newspaper article that everyone seems to agree was not exactly accurate?
Apparently. I mean, that's where Mr. Rochelle first heard about it, and through that, things started snowballing, and then through a couple communication gaps, things just got way out of hand.
All right, thanks very much. In other news, it is night 1 in jail for 5 men police called major drug dealers. Today, Greenville police made what they're calling the biggest crack bust they've had in a long time. Our John Miller has more on that.
Greenville police say an early morning raid and subsequent arrests should put a dent in Eastern Carolina's crack supply, at least for a little while.
They are some of the top-level drug dealers. From what we understand, they're dealing probably in the 50-mile radius of Greenville.
You got the wrong man, mistaken identity.
The investigation into the activities of Rashawn Rogers, James Fleming, William Ward II, Reggie Stansel, and Lamar Hayes began 2 years ago, when Greenville police, federal agents, and other area law officers rounded up the 5 Greenville residents. They also seized a gun, $5,000 in cash, and close to a kilo of crack cocaine. Officials say it has a street value of more than $100,000.
This is one of the largest arrests or bust, if you want to call it that Greenville Police Department has made. I don't think it's the largest, but it's one that ranks right up toward the top.
Police say the Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms got involved when undercover agents discovered the suspects were carrying guns to drug transactions, a serious federal crime. Of the variety of drug charges these suspects are facing, some carry a maximum penalty of life in federal prison. In Greenville, John Miller, News Center 9, the First in News.
In other news, the jury now must decide if Kinston dentist Dr. Robert Gray will spend his life in jail or the next portion of it on death row. The jury got this case late today. Then after about 20 minutes of deliberations, the judge let the jury go home for the night. The jury found Gray guilty of murdering his wife on Thanksgiving of 1992. He maintains it was an accident and in self-defense. Deliberations will continue tomorrow. And the sentencing phase of Samuel Perkins' case got started today, too. He's the Pitt County man convicted of raping and killing a little 7-year-old girl. Today, prosecutors had the jury listen to a woman who claims Perkins raped her at knife point back in the early 1980s. He had pleaded to a lesser crime in that case. Then the defense presented a number of character witnesses. However, one of those witnesses claims she had to take her daughter to the hospital in the 1970s because Perkins raped her. The hearing will continue tomorrow. And the jury in Michael Seagrove's case is having a tough time. Seagroves is the Durham homeowner accused of using excessive force when he shot and killed one teenager and wounded another who were breaking into his home. For the third time, the jury asked the judge for clarification on the law regarding manslaughter. The jurors also listened to the 911 call Seagroves made the day it happened and looked at photos of the garage where it happened. The jury will begin its third day of deliberations tomorrow. And another controversy surrounding those diaries Senator Bob Packwood was keeping. The Ethics Committee has been looking at allegations of sexual harassment against Packwood. The committee wanted the diaries to work its case. But tonight the question is, did Packwood tamper with the diaries? Here's more.
No comment, period.
Kathy Wagner-Cormack, the former Packwood staffer who transcribed his diaries, wasn't talking to reporters. But in a sworn statement filed in federal court today, she said flatly that Packwood had altered the diaries. Senate lawyers say Ms. Cormack told them under oath last week that Packwood, quote, took back some tapes in my possession which I had not yet transcribed. At a later time, it appeared to me that he may have made some revisions to those tapes. Subsequently, he confirmed that he had. Ms. Cormack says the alterations were made after the Senate Ethics Committee began an investigation of allegations against Packwood, ranging from sexual harassment to whether he did favors for a lobbyist who offered his wife a job. Senate lawyers say the diaries are crucial to that investigation and urge the judge to seize them immediately. Today's filings also suggest Packwood's troubles are mounting in more ways than one, since the lawyers now allege that even after Ms. Cormack left his staff, Packwood continued to pay her with government funds to work on his personal diaries. No comment yet from Packwood on these new allegations, but there will be a court hearing on Thursday on whether he must hand over the diaries, which he says would violate his constitutional rights. In the meantime, his friends believe he's trying to cut a deal, that if the Justice Department and the Ethics Committee would drop their investigations, he would agree to resign from the Senate. So far, however, the investigators don't appear interested in a deal. Bob Schieffer, CBS News at the Capitol.
And as advertised, the rains are coming to eastern North Carolina.
Yeah, some of the rain is coming down pretty heavily now. In fact, we can hear some of it on the roof now, just starting to increase. Also, while we are seeing rain here, Alan, in western North Carolina, it is a different story. They are getting some of the white stuff. Even Greensboro has a little bit of snow mixed in with their rain. But for parts of our mountains, up to 4 inches of snow is on the ground. That is our wildest weather peak for the U.S. of A. We'll have more on our weather right after this.
It's the 15th annual Toyotathon and our best ever, with great deals on Camry and the all-new Camry Coupe. Response has been incredible to the Toyota Touch lease on Camry. Right now, you can lease Camry for just $289 a month. That's $289 a month for 36 months. And you get dual airbags, automatic transmission, air conditioning, power steering, AM/FM cassette, cruise control, power windows and locks, and more. Toyota Camry is the best car built in America. Get to your Toyota dealer's 15th annual Toyotathon and save.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Every year at this time, we count our blessings at Walmart.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
We're thankful we get to live in a country where freedom has no bounds.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
But most especially, we're thankful for the people who make our jobs possible.
And a Happy New Year.
To all our vendor partners who bring us our great products, and to all our wonderful customers who buy them, may this be the merriest Christmas of all.
Every day we bring power to the Carolinas.
The power!
Power to celebrate. Power to achieve. Power to cheer. Power to heal. Power to laugh. Power to succeed. Power to protect. Power to love. Because every day at CP&L, we strive to generate a lot more than electricity.
Carolina Dairies presents a holiday eggnog recipe. Remember all your holiday helpers. Carolina Dairies.
Philip Williams' weather forecast is approved by the American Meteorological Society.
Well, if you don't like the rainy, cold weather out there, it looks like you're not in for a good night tonight. There's quite a bit of that rain out there. Also, The temperatures are very cool. Let's now check the stats right now. As we do so, we find the rainy, cold weather at 43 degrees. Winds are from the northeast, about 10 miles per hour. Humidity is rising, 89%. Pressure, though, dropping. That means low pressure continues to develop overhead. It is now down to 29.57. And that precip as of 11 o'clock was 0.06. But in the last 10 minutes, I'm sure we've probably doubled that amount. As for temps now across the east, it is a cool night out there. Now 46 for Elizabeth City, 45 in Washington, 43 for Greenville. New Bern with moderate rainfall is 46 degrees. Across the inland regions, now 40 for Rocky Mount and for Wilson, 41 Goldsboro. Raleigh is 38. It is 37 farther off the map in Greensboro. Earlier in the evening, they had a little bit of sleet, also a little snow mixed in. Right now in Asheville, it is snowing around Boone as well. Now, here's the radar for eastern Carolina. This is all rain, no snow anywhere in eastern Carolina. There will not be any. But here we can find some rain now falling pretty heavily now from Wilson to Snow Hill, also over towards Ayden, Grifton, LaGrange, and Kinston, back down through Vanceboro, New Bern, right on down towards the coastal areas. Even, say, parts of, we'll say, Jacksonville, Midway Park, seeing some good rainfall. Also along the Emerald Isle there, back over to Atlantic Beach, Beaufort, some fairly hefty rainfall amounts. But then we can see somewhat of a clearing trend trying to build in from the southwest eventually, but all this heavy to moderate rainfall will spiral around towards the northeast, so everyone in the east should get a fairly good dose of rain before this night is done. The satellite view shows us this spiraling band wrapping around the system. Watch that begin to move, going around the low pressure, spiraling right there. See the rotation? That is a fairly good upper level low pressure system spinning its wheels. This system is not going to be moving very fast. That will keep us somewhat unsettled, not only for tonight, but also for perhaps the next, say, 24 to 36 hours. The first band, though, that will move on through tonight, maybe a brief break in the rainfall for tomorrow, and then perhaps the backlash will come back down at us sometime by tomorrow night, the way it looks at this time. Now, as for the national map, we can see low pressure not only around the center of the storm, also new low pressure has just begun to develop just offshore. This low pressure will begin to move on towards the north and the east, and hopefully take some of the rainfall at least out of southeastern North Carolina sometime during the day tomorrow. Otherwise, it will be a rather breezy and a blustery day. Also, with low pressure there, that means we've got some pretty strong winds on shore. So a coastal flood watch is in effect, a heavy surf advisory, also a gale warning is in effect now for our coastal waters. And look at that. See the white? That is snow in the North Carolina mountains. Temperatures for tomorrow, it should be a fairly nice day here, temperature-wise, at least semi-nice. Highs upper 40s to low 50s. The mountains, though, only in 30s for their daytime highs. Now our forecast for coastal Carolina. Rain increasing tonight, a windy, cool night, 45 to 40 the overnight low. Winds northeasterly, 15 to 25 knots. Tomorrow we see a windy, wet, and cool day. 55 the high around Morehead City. Winds easterly, 30 to 35 knots, and that will indeed cause the coastal flood watch, especially from Cape Lookout northward. Waves will build to 10 feet tomorrow. The water temp 53, and of course gale warning continues with winds in that category. As for the high tide, 8:59 in the morning, low tide 2:29 in the morning as well, and that coastal flood watch does continue. Inland regions, rainy, raw, breezy, 40 the overnight low. No snow, but it may feel like it out there. Winds northeast, 10 to 15. Tomorrow it should be a day of periods of rainfall, breezy and cool. Highs in the upper 40s as winds will become northwesterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Sunrise is 7:09, sets 1 past 5. Carl Lake will soon rise at 300.8 feet above mean sea level. And in the next 4 days, we see a good chance of showers tomorrow and a cool day. Thursday, that rain should be early in the morning, then clear out. And Friday should be a beautiful day, highs of 55. And then for the weekend, we won't even worry too much about that right now, but there is at least a chance of some rain once again then.
Not bad. You know, we had our Christmas party tonight, and I wish you could see the folks behind the cameras. They're never this dressed up.
Yes.
They have long dresses on. They look great. Don't
Very
they?
nice.
We all do this every night.
Every night.
Every night. All right, good deal. Thanks a lot. Well, some big money for small-town sewage systems tonight. 3rd District Congressman Martin Lancaster announced the government has approved a $232,000 grant to upgrade the town of Pink Hills sewage treatment facility. He says the project will improve the quality of sewage service and the quality of life for Pink Hill. He also announced federal loans and grants of more than $5 million for construction of a central water system in Beaufort County. The money will go to sink 2 deep wells and put up an elevated storage tank for the township of Pantego. Up next on News Center 9, a new police firing range in the east named after a cop who lost his life in the line of duty.
I'm Aaron Wood from Indian Lake Air Base Turkey. It's my wife, Tammy. I'd like to say happy holidays to my brother, Eric, and his wife, Jennifer. They're in North Carolina, Goldsboro. Happy holiday.
Earlier this year, a Food Line commercial featured Cody, a cancer patient undergoing treatment at this pediatric center. Food Line people have contributed tens of thousands of dollars to support the center through the Children's Miracle Network. Many of you called or sent letters of encouragement to Cody, along with your prayers for his recovery. That's why we've asked Cody, who's well on his way to recovery now, to express our season's greetings to you.
I hope your Christmas is as happy as mine.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
The joy of the holiday season is upon us, and it's that time of year to give from the heart to those less fortunate.
It's time to give to Toys for Tots and help make Christmas brighter for some special kids who might not otherwise have a happy holiday.
Over the years, you've helped fill our studio with wonderful toys and gifts. We greatly appreciate your support and hope that you will help us again.
Just bring a new toy to our station and the Marine Corps will pick them all up on December 20th and distribute them to deserving area kids.
Get into the spirit of Christmas.
Give to Toys for Tots.
It won't be long before the new year is here, and with the new year come 2 new performing arts series shows to the Wright Auditorium stage. On Saturday, January 8th, the East Carolina University Young Audiences Performing Arts Series presents The Secret Garden. This delightful musical opened 3 years before the recent Broadway version and to better reviews. The whole family will love it. And on Sunday night, January 23rd, the East Carolina University Performing Arts Series presents The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Politicians, tycoons, and the local football team all join up with the indomitable Miss Mona in this side-splitting musical jamboree. Both performances are in Wright Auditorium on the campus of ECU in Greenville. The Central Ticket Office will close for the Christmas holidays on December 18th, so purchase tickets now for fabulous Christmas gifts. Call 757-4788 or 1-800-ECU-ARTS. And don't forget, Performing Arts Series tickets make great Christmas gifts.
Cherry Point and the town of Havelock are gearing up for an expansion. The Naval Aviation Depot will soon have 1,200 more jobs, all because of the recent decisions by the Base Closure Committee. The jobs will come from 3 other military bases that were closed. The people who left their jobs, of course, on those bases will get first dibs on the new jobs at Cherry Point. Also, some Havelock residents have complained they have plenty of jet noise to contend with already, but others say the good always outweighs the bad in this case.
With hush houses and those kind of things, that, you know, you can put an engine in a test cell out here and walk right up to the door.
In the Havelock area, we are most directly impacted by the noise. It's never been a problem, and the only time that we really get concerned in Havelock is when we don't hear the aircraft noise.
Most of the new jobs will deal with increased repair and maintenance of the jets at Cherry Point. A somber dedication in Bethel today. Police now have their new firing range to practice on. It boasts an unusual feature known as a reaction time shooting section. The range is named after Bethel police officer James Outlaw. He was killed recently in a traffic accident while answering a drunk driving call. They also dedicated the DARE vehicle today, a hearse Outlaw hoped would teach kids to stay away from drugs and alcohol.
We want people to realize that drug abuse resistance education and alcohol education is something that James Outlaw gave his life for. He gave his life chasing a drunk driver, which was exactly what he was teaching children not to do. And that means a lot to us. So we're not only dedicating this range in his memory, but we're also dedicating this DARE vehicle because it meant a lot to him. That was his assigned vehicle.
Labor and materials to build the range were donated. And there will soon be a new home for emergency personnel for the city of Greenville. Today, they broke ground for a new fire and police center on Green Street. Residents approved the new building in a bond referendum earlier in the year. The complex will hire fire, police, and rescue workers that will be housed in the same building. Workers say it's going to be nice not to have to use restrooms and closets to make up office space.
The citizens of Greenville knew that this was something necessary for a progressive city. We must have this fire rescue police facility.
Jenkins says the complex should be ready within a year. Still to come, a colorful nationalist is the latest player in the affairs of Russia. Tonight, to look at why many in the U.S. are worried about him. That's next.
You don't have to be Italian to try Subway's spicy pizza sub or Italian steak. Just open up and say ciao.
New hot Italian subs from $1.69 at Subway.
Your independent Mutual drugstore is the place to save this holiday season. You'll find a great selection of gifts, jewelry, toiletries, and fragrances that will be cherished and appreciated at prices you can easily afford. You'll find savings and service when you bring your holiday gift list to your favorite locally owned Mutual drugstore. Shop where you see the Mutual sign of quality, including these participating stores.
Of course it is. This road is touching.
Sure is.
This road is touching you.
Well, what do you think?
Guess the road is touched.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. Every year, this time, we count our blessings at Walmart.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
We're thankful we get to live in a country where freedom has no bounds.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
But most especially, we're thankful for the people who make our jobs possible.
And a Happy New Year.
To all our vendor partners who bring us our great products, and to all our wonderful customers who buy them, may this be the merriest Christmas of all.
A lot of people are concerned about the outcome of the elections in Russia tonight. Boris Yeltsin's economic reforms may still be in effect, but the road toward them is very unclear. And it's because of the extreme nationalists, an openly racist group, who it appears are taking control of the parliament. Here's more on the man leading them.
The man who is worrying the world, Russia's far-right nationalist Vladimir Zhirinovsky, sought to put a new spin on his old image. 2 days after his party finished first in Russia's parliamentary election, Zhirinovsky declared he was not anti-Semitic. But then complained there are too many Jews on Russian TV. Zhirinovsky also said he's ready to work with the West, but declared Russia should produce more weapons and sell them to countries like Iraq. The Yeltsin government called Zhirinovsky a fascist and says he will lead the nation to disaster. Zhirinovsky claims he's a Democrat, but today boasted of congratulations from a German neo-Nazi party. Careful to display the charm that helped him win this election, Zhirinovsky then offered friendship to America and invited the Clintons to meet with him during the January summit.
My wife would like to be introduced to Madame Hillary.
Zhirinovsky scolded the press for ignoring him up to now. You'll come to know us better, he said, and announced he's running for president of Russia. Cindy Kennard, CBS News, Moscow.
And this news just in, there has been a ruptured water line in Bethel tonight, and most of the town of Bethel is without water. Crews are working on it right now, and they tell us they are trying to get the water supply back up. Please have some patience. It should be running very soon. Sports tonight, Bobby Hurley, still a question mark on how he's doing, but you know, everybody I think is praying for him.
So far, so good. Still showing signs of improvement, and that's the good news. Once he gets through these 4 or 5 days, then things should really rapidly improve. More on Bobby Hurley coming up. Also, the Hornets at home with the Hive tonight, and the Hornets win. There's a fight in that one, and a fight to tell you about with Roberto Duran in sports after this.
There's a little fun in every bottle of Tots Blanc de Noir. Open up your senses to an incredible new taste in champagne. Tots Blanc de Noir. Alive. Unexpected. Different. Join in. There's a little fun in every bottle. Taste it in Tots Blanc de Noir.
Let's compare these two babies. The baby on the left has a beating heart. So does the baby on the right. The baby on the left has arms, legs, fingers, and toes. So does the baby on the right. The baby on the left can turn and jump and kick. So can the baby on the right. The difference is, the baby on the left was just born, and the baby on the right would very much like to be. Life. What a beautiful choice.
Sports Center 9, voted Best Sportscast by the Associated Press.
Duke coach Mike Krzyzewski flew to Sacramento today, and he picked up some good news about his former All-American point guard. Bobby Hurley was alert. His condition improving greatly today, just a day after he needed 8 hours of surgery to repair extensive damage to his lungs. He remains, however, in serious condition following last night's car accident. He only suffered lung damage, broken ribs, a small compression fracture in his back, and knee and wrist injuries. Doctors have said that these first 4 to 5 days were crucial to his survival. Day one after the operations was a good one. On the court tonight, another former Duke All-American, Christian Laettner, returning to the Tar Heel stage tonight. The Charlotte Hornets have shown some recent signs of life, with Larry Johnson trying to break out of his early season slump. Grandmama has been playing like an elderly lady to start the year tonight, though. Hornets win. Alonzo Mourning to the hole for the slam. And then LJ, a good night. Larry Johnson, the great move, the spin. It goes up off the glass against Christian Laettner. T-Wolves running, and Laettner, who definitely needs to visit his barber back in Durham while he's here in the Tar Heel State, because the young lad has let his locks grow out. Laettner again from the outside. He'll gun the three, and you'll see a closer shot of him to see just how wild that hair is getting for young Christian. This one featured some fisticuffs. Alonzo Mourning and company duking it out. The Hornets win 101-85. The final. Del Curry 5 threes in a row over a 3.5 minute span, and the Hornets win. Rockets in the heat. Rudy T's Rockets are red hot. Vernon Maxwell from the outside with a jumper. The Heat going inside to Harold Miner. Now watch Miner hanging on. It's Olajuwon. Former Georgia Tech star Matt Geiger is going to come into your picture here. Didn't recognize him with the skinhead. That does not look like Matt Geiger, but believe me, it is. We checked it out. Maxwell with 4 threes, 25 points. He was red hot. The Rockets are 20-1, 97-88. Second best start ever in NBA history. Elsewhere on the scoreboard, Knicks beat Denver 93-84. Atlanta over Cleveland 103-92. That final. The Lakers beat the Pistons. Indiana over Washington. Portland needed overtime to beat Dallas tonight, and Seattle leads Orlando at the half 64-45. The Houston Oilers are dealing with their own tragedy tonight. 25-year-old defensive tackle Jeff Alm apparently killed himself after the car he was driving reportedly lost control on an exit ramp, killing a passenger. Now, police say Alm was despondent over the loss of a friend. He took his own life with a shotgun. Also from the NFL, Phoenix general manager Larry Wilson resigned today, and Coach Joe Bugle is expected to be the next to go. Sunday's loss to Detroit clinched a 9th straight losing season for the Cardinals. In Dallas, All-Pro center Mark Stepnoski is considering season-ending knee surgery. The All-Pro center sprained his right knee in Sunday's win over the Vikings. And the injuries continue to mount in Miami, where cornerback Troy Vincent needs major reconstructive knee surgery after he was hurt returning a punt in last night's Dolphin loss to Pittsburgh. From Pirate football, East Carolina seniors Bernard Carter and Carlister Crumpler are headed to college football's postseason via the All-Star Game route. Carter, who is the all-time sack leader at East Carolina, will play on Christmas Day in the Blue-Gray Classic in Montgomery, Alabama. Carter had 25.5 sacks during his 4-year career at East Carolina. For Crump, his January also includes a stop in Alabama and Mobile at the Senior Bowl. Walter Camp, first-team All-American from Greenville, is just the 4th Pirate ever to play in the Senior Bowl. For Carter on Christmas Day in the Blue-Gray, Crump on January 22nd in the Senior Bowl. One of the quietest nights you'll ever find in college hoops. Only one game in the top 25. Arizona led New Orleans 31-29 at the half, but 13th-ranked Wildcats are cruising in the second half, leading 60-37. Also taking a break tonight, the entire ACC and Colonial. East Carolina getting back to work on Thursday when the Pirates host Furman. All of the college basketball season taking it easy during this early part of December. Different teams handle the break in different ways. Many teams use the time to rest after a busy tournament slate around Thanksgiving and to start December. The Pirates have used the time to fine-tune several aspects of their game, both from a team and individual basis. It's still quite a grind trying to mix the books with all the basketball that you're trying to get.
Yes, it's been a really tough week this week. As you said, we did have exams, and a lot of guys are taking time to study to try to come up good on their grades this semester, and I think everybody's been doing a fine job. That's just tough. It kind of wears on your body a little bit. You have to get your rest and, you know, make sure you're in the best of shape mentally and physically.
Pirates and Furman on Thursday at 7 o'clock coming up at Minges Coliseum. High school hoops tonight, couple of scores to pass along. The girls play Plymouth, beating Perquimans 52-28. Boys play Perquimans slipped by Plymouth 64-58 was that final. And finally, boxing, best known for his line, "No Mas," in one of his fights with Sugar Ray Leonard. And while Leonard, Marvin Hagler, and Thomas Hearns have all faded away, Roberto Duran, he keeps on going tonight. Fight number 100 in Duran's career. He took a record of 90-9 tonight's bout with Tony Menifee. Round 8, after a standing 8 count, Roberto Duran stalks him, the overhand right. Menifee trying to continue, but Duran this time says, "No mas, no mas," with his opponent in this bout. 8th round TKO, now 91-9 and trying to the championship.
Out like a light, wasn't he?
Roberto Duran's been alive. 42 years old.
He sure is.
Still boxing.
I remember that fight. That was one of those odd kind of finishes.
It's one of the weirdest happenings in sports. Yeah.
Sure was. All right, up next, rise and shine weather. Looks rainy outside. Brian's Nightlight and Howard Stern, the New York shock jock, is on the warpath again.
It's our best lease ever. Just $220 a month for 24 months. The 94 Ford F-150. Now loaded with all this equipment, including a standard driver's side airbag. All for just $220 a month for 24 months. It's the best lease ever on the best-selling truck ever, Ford F-Series. Just $220 a month at your Carolina Ford dealer, the truck authority.
Bad to the bone. Bad.
Your hometown friends who show they care will all be there. Let's share our hometown holiday.
There's no place like Walmart for the holidays, where the prices really help and the people do too. Because no matter how busy things get, we'll always take time for our hometown friends.
Share our hometown holiday.
It's holiday time at Walmart.
See this? This is a bridge. It was built by workers. Know what those workers ate? Hearty home-style food. See this? This is a farm. Know what they do on a farm? They work. Know what they eat? Home-style food. See these? These are the home-style dinners at Shoney's. Pot roast, country fried steak, meatloaf, the kind of food that built America. See these? These are the vegetables and other stuff you choose with a home-style dinner at Shoney's. See the price? Reasonable. See this? The Shoney's logo, designed by artists. Know what they ate? Hearty home-style food.
Finally, shock jock Howard Stern. He's once again out there on the warpath. He's upset with a city in California who might not let him have a public signing of his new book, Private Parts. Here's more on the controversy.
The king of radio's so-called shock jocks was up close and personal with the microphone today, not on the air, but blasting, of all things, the West Hollywood, California City Council, which wants to charge big money if Stern appears at a scheduled book signing.
What I see it as is an amateur attempt at a shakedown.
You may remember that Howard's now an author. In fact, his provocative book, Private Parts, is a bestseller. And you may remember what happened at his first book signing event here in New York. In October, a Stern appearance at one Midtown bookstore attracted 6,000 people who spilled out into Fifth Avenue, clogging traffic. The following week, a Wall Street appearance attracted 9,000, but police were prepared this time and the crowd was better behaved. Stern now wants to sign books at a West Hollywood bookstore on Thursday, but the city council says it will enforce the law and charge $18,000 an hour in police overtime and a $25,000 bond to cover what it calls a special event. Stern says no way.
If I have to start paying to appear at a bookstore, $18,000 an hour in overtime, $25,000 to sign books, what does that say about our rights?
Stern's had governmental problems before. The FCC, citing profanity on the air, fined Stern's employer $1.5 million last year. The vocal DJ says West Hollywood is a town of big stars and huge events, and charging him is selective enforcement of the law. Stern, who will be flying to L.A. tomorrow, says he may appear at the bookstore anyway.
If you're saying today what I'm going to do, I would like to go there anyway.
And he may bring a lawyer along. Stern says his First Amendment rights have been violated, and he may sue the city of West Hollywood.
I don't know. I can't figure that one out, to tell you the truth.
Yes.
All right, what's going on in the weather?
Well, it's raining up there right now across most of the east, and it looks like as you wake up in the morning, there will be a chance of some more rain showers then as well. Also, it will be a cool start to your day. Have the overcoat. 42 degrees should be the temperature about the sunrise hours. You begin to start your day. As for the radar, right across the east, heaviest now from say around Moorhead City, right up Highway 70 to New Bern, then more rain on just towards Kinston and Greenville, and that rain will continue for the next few hours, so be prepared for a very wet night.
Oh, boy. Come on, Brian, you're a Howard Stern fan, aren't you?
I'm trying to figure out, I can't figure out which one was Howard Stern and which one was the reporter. I guess I'm not hip on it at all. Our nightlight tonight, take you back to the Hive tonight. Hornets on the run in the white. Watch Muggsy Bulbs go to LJ. Larry Johnson, yeah. You know who liked this shot more than anybody? Larry did. He loved it. 23 points as the Hornets win tonight. The announcer liked it pretty good, too.
That sounded great. That looked like they're having a good time.
They were. Won tonight.
All right, we thank you for being with us tonight. We will be back, of course, tomorrow at 6 and 11. Jim Woods will have all the latest overnight news beginning at 6 on Carolina Today. Have a great day.
First in news, this is WNCT TV